Welcome back to Nightingale's Vapour Blasters and Metal Finishers and Motorcycle Restorers. We're back onto the TLR 200 engines. This is the one we're building as a special eye build, and in the last video I said we'd crack the engine down. We've now got it finally coated, the casings, externally like a slate grey. Lovely finish. It's actually a heat dispersant coating that in ceramic, and we've also done the insides with another ceramic specialist coating. This is for oil flow and movement. And when we come to our specialised heads, we're doing the valve stems in one coating and obviously the valve heads in another. We've also included in our special heads the ceramic coating to the rocker box. Again, it's an heat dispersant to get it away. So we'll talk about a few things what are going to happen with ourselves with new items coming in and for sale. And first off, we're going to start with the heads. Back to our cylinder heads. These are going to be our own cylinder heads for the TLR 200 specials. We are selling them out. I will just explain what you get for your money, and also it is under the Velocity range, and we're going to have some other extras as well, which we'll be showing you soon. So the first thing we modify is the standard camshaft itself. Not only do we fit an eye lift cam in, these are brand new heads by the way, they're not a refurb now. We put the cam on a double bearing, stops the wear on this particular lobe on the outside edge over time, and it runs a lot smoother, and when they fit back into the assembly itself, they're lovely and smooth, and nothing to do after that. Plus the eye lift cam, we also Cerakote in this cam with a friction reduction specialist coating, again dispersing oil. So you get the head complete. It'll have Viton oil seals fitted as standard or genuine Honda. We've also, the size of the valves are completely different. So the inlet valve, we're going from a 28mm to a 36, big difference, and the exhaust valve, we're going from a 22 to a 27. Again, these are Cerakoted to the heads of the valves, and we're also putting a friction reduction on the valve stem. Within the head as an assembly, you get the rocker box, which is coated again with a specialist ceramic coating, again to take the heat away from the head. That comes complete, and we're also adding one of our billeted front covers at the front of the cylinder head. We're also stocking these separately, the cams, the valves, all ready to go as spares with our cylinder heads, and we're also putting on a new exhaust retainer. The whole idea is that under the Velocity Pro range, we're going to be doing the cylinder heads, which are straight bolt on, time up, put your original timing cover and sprocket on. Time that was a little bit different on the valve settings because they're bigger, and then there's some new spares coming out shortly. We've got the exhaust coming out the front pipe with the power boom box on the front, and then we're actually having some exhaust manufactured as well, which are going to come out the other side very short on two stubs here. Not only do they look cool, but on a rolling road they've proven that they work very efficient. It's all gone round in a full circle as this with this TLRs, different types of very expensive exhausts and air filter boxes, and from different carburation. So we're going back to basics with it. So for this special build, and this is just, you know, how we're just modifying to make it a very competitive twin shock trials bike. Over the last 5 years especially, I've seen some the strangest faults on these engines, and faults you cannot imagine really, but we have had a lot of variations, especially with the variations of people fitting two-stroke carburetors to them, different air filter boxes, different pistons. Obviously you've got the high compression pistons and the flat pistons. What we're doing is, on this particular head, we're gas flowing this head, but when we come back to the barrel, we're keeping it to a standard flat piston. I-lift cam and the bigger valves. It works for us. We have tried the configuration with high compression pistons in and a few other modifications, but this has been reliable. When we strip them back down again, this head's been bomb proof, the valves have been great, and we've had no issues at all. The issues we've had in the past have been after the cylinder head and working backwards to the carburation and the air filter boxes. So working backwards, when I say working backwards, we've had many of these, not only for the TLR 200s, for TYs and aluminium air filter boxes. It's great, nothing wrong, with the modern filter put into them. Right, now a lot of these things, and there's a lot of people out there building them with these on, it's nothing to anybody else or how they're doing it wrong, it's just our preference and longevity, reliability, and building a bike that can take what it's meant to take at this level. What we found is with these air filter boxes, we haven't been happy with any of this working forward now, and any two-stroke carburetors, in our opinion. I don't like the cheap of anything of these two-stroke things which people clamp on, and sometimes I've looked at it and I thought they've got an old worn-out Honda carburetor, and they stick one of these cheap Chinese carbs on, and it starts first kick and it manages to rev, but at the end of the day it's wearing out faster and faster, and it's just up and down on the tick over. I've had horrendous problems inside the boards which I don't want to go into, because it's our findings, what we've actually found on these machines. So we're going back to basics. We're using our cylinder head, which is used all over. It's not just ours, it's just that we're making other modifications to this head. Brand new head. And then we're coming in with the standard Honda manifold, so you'll be able to bolt this head onto your standard machine. You can put your standard carburetor on and go to your standard airbox, the original Honda airbox. So the standard Honda airbox is just a little bit restricted on the airflow, but if you've got one and you're going to keep it, which it's all going round in a full circle, so there'll be lots of people soon desperate to find second-hand TLR Honda 200 airboxes, because for some reason I've thrown them all away. I sold them for 25 quid, and they've put another manifold after these heads onto the carburetor, probably a two-stroke carburetor. They've even and vented it on a different pipe up into one of these air filter boxes. So that's where we're at with it. What we're actually doing is we're going back and having a standard box made, and it should be with us again in 3 weeks. When I say standard box, it ain't actually standard. It's in the same format of the original TLR 200, but we've made some more modifications inside of that airbox, and we know it works. Meaning that you can either buy the head, the airbox, the front pipe, and the exhaust and the Velocity Pro, or if you're at home, you'll be able to bolt our cylinder head, as I said, onto your machine with your original Honda manifold, maybe a couple of new O-rings in it, onto your original Honda carb, onto an air filter box, standard. If you want to go for one of ours, then it'll be a modern version of what you've already got. So we'll follow up on that and show you how we're actually doing this, and when one comes together. This particular bike, one of our bikes, and it's Nigel Finnegan's own machine this, so we use it as a bit of a test machine as well. We've just put it back together, we've powder coated it all. We've had it in many colours, this machine. We've done some polishing, some white Cerakote to the crankcases, grey Cerakote, white Cerakote. This has got the different gear lay shaft in it from first to second, which we'll be doing them as well. This is also going to have one of a very similar exhaust to ours, front pipe, and then it's going to have the special exhaust we're making at the moment, and then you will see this is a standard air filter box, but you'll see our own air filter box shortly, and you'll see the standard manifolds, head manifolds, onto a 4-stroke carburettor. We're happy with it. We're happy because when we build these bikes, we don't just want them looking pretty, we want them to last. And I can assure you, we've stripped these down, the different heads, the different pistons we've seen, the different bores, things what are happening after, say, 30-40 hours. So it's longevity we're after. That's why you might be thinking our casings, it's a bit overboard with all this Cerakoting, or it's on the edge, but that's what we do for a living, so we're also showing our products at the same time. Again, this engine's part of the special build, which we said and we've seen in the second video, that we're doing a chrome effect powder frame. We want to do it in Repsol orange and Repsol colours. We've got some hubs in now, some higher rated hubs, which we put into a back wheel, which will be obviously a tubeless rim, looking a bit trick. We're not far off as well under our Velocity Pro range, as well as these other things. I forgot to mention, we're actually going to do the triple clamps, alloy billet yokes, with our own brand name on the front. Again, they'll either fit the standard bars or fat bars, whichever suits you. But they look a bit trick, and they're really nice, polished or Cerakoted. There's a couple of other parts coming in which are a bit trick. Our own triple clamps, alloy billeted yokes with our own brand name on it, Velocity Pro. They'll be coming in. We're also, forgot to mention, on the carburation side, we'll be doing a Bakelite. We've got a bit of noise here in the workshop. What do you want? We'll have a Bakelite heat deflector plate. Most of the undercuffs, even when I was a young man in a motorcycle workshop, I can remember, and I have said it in a video, that these came out in a jiffy bag from Honda, and you'd have an Honda in the workshop, it'd be ticking over, and all of a sudden it does the famous pop, and there's no answer to it. And by putting these in, it just keeps it away from the cylinder head to the carburettor for evaporation. Not discovered the wheel. It's that man, I'm 63, 64 now, and they were then when I was 19. Again, anything you can do in heat disbursement from cylinder edge by keeping it away also does help this kind of problem. But they're a must, and we're having them made for different types of heads as well as these 200 Hondas, but they'll be on every bike we do and sold separately. As I said, the billeted yokes are coming out, the triple clamps, they're on the way now. We haven't got any yet with our own Velocity name on, so there'll be a billeted yoke for fat bars or standard bars to go towards the range. So the next video will be on assembler this engine. As I said, this is for our special, which is a Repsol machine, and we're going to try and do it with the chrome frame, everything on it, and another part will be coming. We are 6 to 7 weeks away. Is a very expensive billeted swinging arm. It's an extended swinging arm because obviously with our frames we're altering the headstock by a couple of degrees, so we're pulling it back with this lovely billeted swinging arm. It'll also be either on a 12 or possibly 15, so 15 the bigger hubs, so there'll be 2 sizes for the swinging arm, so you can either fit a standard TLR 200 swinging arm on, or you can put one of our special wheels into it, front or back. Apart from that, that's it for now. And as I said, the next time you see the engine, apart from anything else happening with extras, there is one last thing in the new collection of bits for these machines, is we are building our own CDI units under our own name. They're actually going to be made in the workshop and modified here. So there'll be a sealed unit ready to go in, and the free revving, we won't say tuning, we'll just say it's a direct replacement and it's free revving, and they've been made here. So we're started assembling them at the moment, ready to be sold. So it'll be as many bits as we can get which actually work. So till the next video, we'll see you then.